Even if no one talks about it, there's always someone people look at before making a decision, someone whose approval matters more, someone whose opinion carries weight. The question is, why? Today we break down the psychology of influence and how it really works. Influence is not random, it is structured. Every group, whether it's friends, co-workers, athletes, or online communities, develops an invisible hierarchy, not necessarily based on titles, not necessarily based on money, but based on perceived value. Human beings are deeply sensitive to status signals. We constantly scan who is confident, who is calm, who is needed, who is respected by others. This scanning happens automatically. You might think you choose who to listen to logically, but most of the time your brain is evaluating social signals long before logic enters the picture. Let's break this down. Influence in social circles rests on 5 pillars: emotional stability, social value, perceived scarcity, narrative control, strategic alignment. First, emotional stability. In any group, the person who remains calm under pressure naturally rises in influence. When drama happens, everyone looks to see who reacts. The one who panics loses status. The one who overreacts loses credibility. The one who stays composed gains authority. This connects directly to Stoic discipline, especially the mindset of Marcus Aurelius. He understood that leadership begins with internal control. If you cannot govern your emotions, you cannot influence others consistently. Now, second, social value. Influence increases when you provide something the group needs. It might be humor, it might be connections, it might be competence, it might be reliability. In friend groups, the connector often has power. In workplaces, the problem solver gains leverage. In competitive environments, the consistent performer commands attention. Value creates gravity. Without value, influence fades. Third, perceived scarcity. This is where the strategic lens of Niccolò Machiavelli becomes relevant. Machiavelli understood perception deeply. The more available you are, the more ordinary you appear. When you are always present, always responding, always engaging, your attention becomes common. But when your time is selective, your presence feels intentional. People instinctively assign higher value to what is not easily accessible. This doesn't mean playing games. It means having priorities. When your life has direction outside the group, you automatically elevate your position within it. Fourth, narrative control. Every social circle develops stories. He's the funny one. She's the smart one. He's unreliable. She's dramatic. Once a narrative forms, it becomes hard to break. Influence increases when you consciously shape your narrative. For example, if you consistently show up prepared, people start describing you as dependable. If you consistently avoid gossip, people describe you as mature. Over time, that narrative becomes social capital, and social capital translates into influence. Fifth, strategic alignment. Influence also depends on how well you understand group incentives. Every group has unspoken priorities. Some value ambition, some value loyalty, some value status, some value humor. If you align with what the group rewards, you integrate smoothly. If you constantly oppose its core values, you isolate yourself. The key is awareness, not blind conformity, strategic awareness. Now let's talk about something deeper. Influence is rarely about domination. It is about trust. When people feel psychologically safe around you, they listen more. When they feel judged or threatened, they resist. This is why aggressive attempts to control conversations often fail. Influence built through fear is unstable. Influence built through competence and calmness is durable. Let's make this practical. Imagine you're in a friend group discussion about plans. Everyone is arguing. Voices are rising. Instead of adding more noise, you say calmly, "Let's decide what matters most first." Now you shift the frame. You didn't overpower anyone. You redirected. That is influence. Or imagine at work, tension rises after a mistake. Instead of blaming, you say, "Let's fix this and figure out what we can improve." Now you appear solution-focused. That builds authority quietly. Another powerful tool: ask better questions. Questions guide conversations without confrontation. Instead of saying, "That idea won't work," ask, "What do you think could go wrong with that approach?" Now the group begins thinking critically. You influence the direction without attacking anyone. Now here's the reality most people avoid. Influence cannot be faked long term. If your confidence is fragile, pressure will expose it. If your value is shallow, inconsistency will reveal it. This is why self-development matters. You cannot separate internal structure from external influence. The more disciplined you are privately, the stronger you appear publicly. Because people sense internal certainty, and certainty, when calm, attracts attention. But be careful. Chasing influence too aggressively backfires. When people sense you are trying to control them, resistance increases. Subtlety works better than force. Instead of seeking control, seek contribution. Instead of demanding respect, embody it. Instead of competing for attention, be selective with your energy. Over time, something interesting happens. People begin to check your reaction before deciding. They look at you for cues. Your silence carries weight. Your words carry direction. That is influence. And the foundation of it all? Self-control, value, consistency, not volume. Influence isn't about manipulation. It's about understanding human nature. Build value, control your reactions, be selective with your energy. And over time, you won't need to chase influence. It will naturally move toward you. Stay aware, stay disciplined,